Hi guys, welcome back to Live Like Lo. This is Lo, and today we're going to be talking about how to go from surviving your dark night of the soul to thriving in and out of your dark night of the soul. Okay, honey? So let's get it. I'm going to give you some examples of what it's like to be surviving. And bitch, I got some notes, okay? If you're going through a dark night of the soul, this can look like barely getting by, okay? Just having a hard time getting things that were such a consistent thing. Now things are awry. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe money isn't as great as it was before. Things aren't just perfect as they used to be or as good as they used to be, right? Then we have life shattering, reality shattering, mind shattering realizations, and that can be anywhere from fake friends to being inauthentic, to seeing the truth of the people around us, to seeing the truth within us that we haven't necessarily been wanting to see, realize, or work on, okay? These are your life shattering or reality shattering events. And so what this can look like is, say for example, noticing that you are doing things that you did not want to do. For example, if your mother is someone that you were like, I don't want to be like that, or your dad, and it was like, I don't want to be like that, but then you find yourself doing the things that they do. Now you are being forced to understand why those things are being done, how to deprogram them, and how to reinstall new programming so that it may better you as a person, and you can step more into the person that you see yourself as, the person that you are most authentically being, and then create that version of your most authentic self instead of procreating these negative habits, okay? These self-limiting beliefs, and creating and recreating it in the people around you by showing them how to act, okay? So then we have lesson after lesson, okay? Sometimes you be going through your dark night of the soul, honey, and you be like, bam, 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 bam. Oh, you thought it was that? Bitch. Oh, honey, it be hard, okay? Sometimes it just be like, sometimes your ancestors be smacking you over the head with all kind of generational curses, okay? And that shit just be like, why? Like, why y'all do this to me? Like, and they be like, we're not doing it to you. We're doing it for you. For you. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. They do it for you though, but nobody wants to hear that. We were going through the dark night of the soul, honey, okay? And then we get into betrayals, okay? Your foundation of who you thought you were is just cracking at the seams, okay? You're feeling depressed, anxious, okay? All of these things are symptoms of that foundation cracking because it was set on top of falsehoods. It was sat on top of conditioning. It was sat on top of, this is who you are and you don't get to change who you are because I've already defined it for you. Now fill in the role, okay? And so your dark night of the soul is the complete just reality perspective shattering of that shit with the sledgehammer of the divine to say, wake the fuck up, bitch, and get your life together, okay? Because this is not what we came here to do. We came here to be greater. We came here to thrive. Why are you suffering, right? Not everybody goes through their dark night of the soul and has an amazing experience. Some people just get worse because they weren't able to pull through. And today we're gonna fucking talk about how you can pull through right now, okay? So thriving, honey, this is how we thrive. We're gonna be healing, okay? Healing ourselves, being compassionate with ourselves and how we're moving throughout the day. How if we're not able to get certain things done, having compassion for yourself to continue to strive to get those things done, but not to shit on yourself in the process, okay? To find moments of joy when possible and creating joy when possible, okay? Your joy is a state of being. Happiness is a moment in time, okay? Let me say it again. Joy is a state of being. Happiness is a moment in time. You can be joyous and not be super happy, right? So here's an example. Finding joy in something could be, okay, my partner has been working for the last 2 weeks, right? And I really haven't been able to spend time with him. And instead of sulking in that and being upset, when we do have time together, I make it special because I want to find joy in that moment. Does that mean that I don't talk to him about the things that need to be talked about in our relationship? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. But what it does mean is that I am able to create little pockets of joy in my life with the people that I love. Even if I'm not per se happy, I create those moments of joy. Being in a state of joy allows me to access more happiness, because when joy is high, happiness is present. So this is a way that you can kind of use joy to kind of look and be optimistic about where your life is. You can also be self-analyzing, okay? This is your dark night of the soul, okay? You're not gonna get away from looking at your fucking bullshit that you do. You gotta look at it. You gotta see how ugly it is. You gotta see how not true it is. You gotta see how true it is, okay? Because some of y'all done did some shit and y'all be acting like y'all fucking innocent and you not. But look, all can be forgiven, but you have to be the first to acknowledge that it happened, to acknowledge what it is, to call the power back and take responsibility for it so that you can heal it, okay? And all right, so then self-care, self-esteem, and your worth and confidence, okay? So these things go together. Your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your self-confidence. All together, I call these the self-care trio. Now, when you're working with your self-care trio, what does that mean? During your self-care, you're going to be working on these three things: your confidence, your self-esteem, and your worth, okay? Your personal self-worth. Why? Because it doesn't matter what the fuck you do in life. It doesn't matter if all you want to do is be a stay-at-home mom. It doesn't matter if all you want to do is make $1 billion. It doesn't matter. I just want to make this successful. I just want to get to this position. I just want to make this amount of money. I just want this car. I just want this boat. Whatever it is that is your goal, right? Whatever it is physically, monetarily, in the world, our worldly desires, our purpose-filled desires of where we want to go and what that looks like, okay? We also have to dial that shit back and take care of ourselves. It doesn't matter how amazing and how much accolades we get if we still feel like we're not worthy of it. If we still feel like we can't get to where we want to go, and when we get there we feel like imposters because our self-esteem is low, and then we're not able to fully show up as our authentic self because we don't feel like we should be there, like we are in the right place at the right time. We don't have that confidence to step out and introduce ourselves to the person that's going to give us the opportunity that we need, or that's going to point us in the right direction for us to get to a place that we need to get to. If we're lost, we're not going to be able to be introduced to that person that's going to be able to move us in a particular direction. Why am I speaking like this as people? Because most of the time, Spirit sends people to move you into different stages of your life, because in the interactions of relationships is where we grow the most, okay? So that self-care trio, making sure that you come up with a routine for that, okay? And then being in flow and problem solving. You must be able to go with the flow during your dark night of the soul. Do not, like, when you're planning things, know that that plan can get kicked out the window at any time, because this is the time for you to recognize your falsehoods. This is the time for you to step out of addictions. This is the time for you to notice where you're looking for love, where you're looking for compassion, where you're looking for these things that you just want so badly, but just in the wrong places where you cannot receive it is exactly where you focused in on, where you've honed in on to figure out if that's there for you, when in fact it is just proving a self-fulfilling prophecy that it is not. That it is not. Are you listening? It is a self-fulfilling prophecy that it is not, because you're looking in the wrong place for what it is that you want, because you're trying to tell yourself you can't have it, which is exactly why you're here in the dark night of the soul. Okay? All right. So, first thing that you want to work on is going to be your thought process. Okay? You want to look at that thought process. Is this thought process feeding me, or is it detrimentally tearing me down so much so that I'm at the bare bones of what I can take right now? Okay? Are you your worst enemy? Are you like your frenemy? Are you the person that when you don't get something wrong, you're a piece of shit and you're not worth shit ever? Is that what your mind says to you? Because if that's some shit that you're dealing with, this is the first place that you need to go. If you can't ever change your perspective, if you can't get inside your mind what it is that you need, what it is that you want, what it is that you kind of got to get your mind around and lock on that shit, okay? Like, I want to have this, and then it needs to be like this, and these are all the requirements to get it done. No matter what you're building, you must be required to grow. If you can't grow, you won't grow over there. Do you understand? Things won't progress if you don't grow. So you have to understand, what is it that's holding me back? What understandings, what beliefs, what thought processes are keeping me stuck, keeping me in a place where I'm self-sabotaging my life because I can't get out of it. I can't get out of this place. I'm stuck here. If that's you, honey, I want you to go down my timeline and go to the thought video, and I want you to understand this is how you make this perspective shift. That video is already posted and online, okay? I think I posted that last year around this time, so you guys should be able to watch that and really get some deets on, like, detail. Like, y'all, my videos are long for a reason. I give you the deets because I want you to be able to get the fuck in there and do the work. Because it doesn't matter what amazing tools you have, what basic spells you're doing, if it doesn't fucking work and improve your life for the long term, you're wasting your time. If you're still in the dark night of the soul, you can't get out. It doesn't matter how much, like, sometimes we get stuck in the perspective that we used to be in, but we are elevating to a place that we can no longer grasp onto our previous beliefs. What does that mean? In the dark night of the soul, you are being made to elevate. What does that mean? No thought, no mindset, no thing that is lesser than what you need to get to your next level will be allowed to stay with you. You will be required to elevate. And if you can't elevate that shit, bitch, you stuck. What? You stuck. What? It don't matter if you're doing spells, if you're doing rituals, if you're doing incantations that's bringing you back to the same place. All you're doing is reorganizing tables on a sinking Titanic ship. Do you hear me? Stop playing games and get your ass on this fucking work. Get your ass down there and patch the fucking holes. Do you understand? It's time to really start thinking and stop being idealistic, okay? And what we want to do is use our positive thoughts, our positive vibrations, okay? I have my link tree down in the description, and there's a few playlists of music down there. One for morning routines, and that's sometimes a little bit more feminine focused. I do have both masculine and feminine songs in there. And then I have one in particular for our kings out there, because y'all got on me on TikTok for not having resources for y'all. So I have a playlist for y'all as well, and I try to keep it in a place of motivation, but also keeping it kind of healthy. Okay, we can get into some kind of toxic masculinity sometimes, and sometimes that's good to excite us and excite the lion in us, but it's not always great when we're going through a low moment. And so we want to make sure that we're hitting those levels. Okay, so now that we kind of figured out how to change our thought process, right, and change our mind, now we're gonna get into look for the lesson. Okay, this is step 2. Look for the lesson. Where's the lesson, right? We need to know, what are we looking for? What are we out here doing? Okay, something that keeps happening in your life repeatedly over and over and over again, through different situations, through different people, through no matter what location you live in, you're having this kind of thing. This right here is your lesson. Look for your lesson. Look for the lesson in the lesson. You know what the lesson is. Okay, I keep getting toxic partners that come into my life. Okay, that's your lesson. Now you need to get inside that lesson and learn every detail you can about it. What were the red flags? What were the yellow flags? What were the light flags? What in the relationship is wrong with the relationship? What needs to happen in order for me to make this relationship more healthy for myself? Do I have to cut them off? Do I have to make certain boundaries? Do I have to say back up out my life? Like, stop coming, and like some people, I can say, for example, like a boundary, like a personal boundary is like, don't pop up on me. You need to call me if you want to hang out. But then another personal boundary could be, you're not going to talk to me like I'm insignificant, right? So these are different boundaries that you can set with somebody in order to set the course straight. If they don't like it, they can go, right? We're talking this grown shit right now. You don't need to deal with nobody who's not for your growth. If they're not helping you elevate, if they're not encouraging you to elevate, if they're shitting on your dreams, fuck them, and stop fucking talking to them about the shit that you are going to do, the shit that you are doing. Stay cordial. You can be cordial with somebody. Hey, how were you yesterday? Oh, it rained and I wasn't able to go on my errands, yada yada yada, blase blase blah. But don't be getting them all your information. For what? They not doing nothing with it but telling you what you can't do. So stop talking to those people. Okay? Some people can be set straight because they're only treating you how you treat you. How you've taught them to treat you is how they've been treating you. Okay? And so once you set those boundaries, they get in line and y'all are able to have a healthy friendship, a healthy relationship, a healthy whatever again. Okay? So now, notice the telltale signs. Like I said, make sure that you know the telltale sign, and don't just be like, oh, I know, bitch. Write that shit down in your book. When we talk about sacred space, make sure you got a book. Y'all better be out here journaling, boy. Y'all better get y'all that journal right there. Get you one. Why? Because it doesn't matter what you learn in 6 months, in 9 months, in 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. When you run across that relapse of, oh, all of this stuff is happening again and I thought I got rid of it. What were the tools that you used to get yourself out of it the last time? That's what you need. And if you don't have it written down anywhere, it's going to be harder for you to remember every single detail. Okay? Sometimes we remember boop, 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 but that's just the first layer of protection. That's just the second or third layer of protection. Once we get into those inner cores, there's no protection there, which is why we have knowledge, so we know how to move. That's why we have instinct, so we know how to move. Okay? I hope that makes sense to y'all. Now the next one, I already said, cut off fake friends, cut off energy draining people, because these are the people that's keeping you in that low vibrational energy, that's keeping you stuck in these little cycles. A lot of these people that you fucking with, they're lessons that you never wanted to learn, that you never wanted to let go of. And even though you may have learned the lesson, you didn't let go of this person, so you still connected with this energy, so you still attracting this energy in your life. You still meeting new people. You still getting job offers and getting managers or higher ups that treat you like this energy, because you're still connected to people you're not supposed to be connected with, that ain't got shit good for you. doing for you. Okay? Okay. I hope that makes sense for you. I hope that makes sense. Now, self-care and consistency. Why did I put these together? Because you are the number one person in your life. You are the number one person in your life. You need to take care of your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and what? Your self-worth, okay? Your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth. Those are some major keys. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. If you are a woman, go get your nails done. If you are emotional, allow yourself to purge those emotions. If you are a mom, get alone time. If you are a father, create boundaries for that alone time, okay? If you are a man, make time to be your full self, to be emotional, to be and experience yourself as a person and not as an alpha type that's to fit into a certain constraint of what it means to be a man, to have to fit into a certain constraint of what it means to be a woman, to have to fit into a certain title, what it means to be transgender, what it means to be gay or lesbian, what it means to be poly, what it means to whatever other titles are associated with you. Get out of that. Who are you at its core? Not titles. Who are you? What are your characteristics? What are your traits? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And what can you play off of to create the life that you deserve? Okay, now we're going to talk about consistency and diligence. Why is consistency still here? Because all of this shit must happen consistently through the dark night of the soul for you to be able to create those moments of joy. If you're not able to be consistent about the self-care, if you're not able to be diligent when shit gets hard and still be consistent about the shit you said you was going to do, about these routines we going to put in place, okay? You're not going, what was the effort for? Right? You're not doing it. You're not taking it to completion. Okay? So routines, what type of routines are we doing? Our first routine that we're going to do is make yourself a morning routine. It doesn't matter what time you wake up. Pick the time that is the earliest that you wake up and take yourself through about an hour to 2 hour routine from your way from here to there. I'm so sorry, guys. This fan just turned on. But I'm going to keep talking anyway. So then the second thing you're going to do is to create a nighttime routine. In between that, we're going to talk about certain routines that consist of these major routines. That's going to be things like meditation, like journaling, like self-expression, taking time to express yourself, to become creative outside of what it is that you do for work, outside of what it is that you do for school, whatever that is, whatever has the pressure, take that pressure off, take that load off and go do something, okay? And then release any type of definitions, any programming about who you are, who you used to be, what you used to do, what do you do now, what will you be doing in the future, and how can you create the necessary steps to get you to where you want to be right now, right here. How can you start that process now, okay? And what we're going to do now is start to look at our programming associated with these things, okay? We're going to start getting into the programming and deprogramming ourselves from this negative stuff that's making our life turn into this fucking turmoil, right? And then we're going to elevate ourselves into a place where now we're able to start deprogramming unhealthy patterns, unhealthy outlooks, unhealthy perspectives, okay? And then we're going to start to install new programming, new habits, new things that are going to fulfill us, new things that are going to allow us to be expressed, to feel amazing, to be open, to do detoxes from social media, to do detoxes from escapism, and to step into truly our own comfortability with who we are, okay? Then we are going to start to develop our daily rituals. Like I just told you, our like morning and night routines, but let's also get into it, right? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do, right? Are you doing affirmations to set that mind straight from the jump? Are you drinking tea to calm yourself down and to ease yourself into the day? Are you laying in the bed watching TikTok or YouTube or whatever? What are you doing at the beginning of your day? That first 2 hours of your day sets the energy for the rest of the day. So make sure that you are moving with a certain pace and you are able to consistently replicate that pace every single day, and know that you can adjust as necessary, but make sure that you write it down somewhere. I have a particular routine for seasons. So I typically do the big seasons, summer and winter, because Georgia doesn't really have, I mean, we have spring because there's pollen, but it's like spring is short, autumn is decently short, so it's kind of summer and winter for us, because winter doesn't really exist. It's like fall pretty much, and then winter for like 3 weeks out of the year. So it's cold and then it's hot. So what I do is in the winter I slow down my routine and I focus on the core things that matter. And even though these other things are there, I'm okay with missing them in order to spend more time with my family. Whereas in the summer, I move at a more steady pace, and I get to work sooner. So a lot of things that I do are very concise, very specific, and if I need to take time for myself, I take it when I do, and then I take that time and I take my time when I do it. So for example, sometimes I take myself out on dates. Those days I take my time. I'll go get my nails done. If my hair's not done, I'll do my hair. I'll put on something really cute. I put my makeup on, and I really like do all the things. And then I take myself somewhere really nice, maybe sometimes something very expensive, or somewhere I've always wanted to go that no one wants to go with me, and I'll just have an experience. And a lot of times I end up making TikToks because I'm in such a amazing mood during that, and I just feel the need to express. But you know, we are creative beings, and when we take care of ourselves, we're able to do better for others and our ventures that we take ourselves through in this lifetime. Okay, and then making sure that you always have a breathing time, a breathing exercise that you do consistently, as well as releasing time. Okay, so our releasing time is when you really need to purge emotions. Okay, so purging your emotions and getting rid of things that are emotions that are coming up, maybe not that technically have a particular thing to work on, information to attach it to, but just purging those emotions and understanding ourselves and taking that time for that. I hope that these tips really helped you come into your own and understand what we're doing here in this space. And I just want you to know you are an amazing being. Okay, you are fucking doing this shit, and you are thriving, even though you may feel like shit, and that's okay. Take these tips, move in stride, and get things together one step at a time. Don't feel like you have to do everything at once. You are in control of your reality, no matter how hard it is. This is for you to grow. So grow through it, but you don't have to struggle through it. You can thrive. I love you so much. You are so amazing, and I just hope that you just fucking keep doing that shit, because you are ultimately the creator of your own reality as an individual version of the expression of the I am. You are amazing. As I am, you are, and as you are, I am. We are all together in this. If you care to join the fam, like this video and subscribe, put your notifications on. We're going to be having more conversations about deep diving into the reality, working with the divine, working with deities, doing astral work. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I channeled from the divine feminine that she wants me to talk about, so we have quite a bit ahead of us. But if there's something that you want to specifically know about, if it's something that's been bugging you and you're just like, I need to talk to somebody, you can leave me me a comment down below. You can send me a DM on Instagram. And if you feel like you need help, if you feel like you're stuck right now, you can book a coaching session with me right now, and I'll help you get out of your stuckness. I'll help walk you out of this dark night of the soul, help you get your shadow work done, and help you step into the life that you truly deserve by creating your own reality through your own personal perspective and the habits that come with that.